Hey everybody, before getting started with this video, I just wanted to give Ridge Wallets a big shout out for supporting and sponsoring the channel. If you guys don't know, they make these badass minimal metal wallets that you can use as a clip and gets rid of all of your old bulky leather cash carrying wallets with all those cards you don't need anymore. Carry exactly what you need with the Ridge. I use mine every day. It's really awesome. Hit the link down below. Code YAMMYNOOB gets you 10% off and free shipping as well. They've got wallets in aluminum, carbon fiber, titanium, which I think is super cool for the motorsports aficionados. So click the link down below. YAMMYNOOB gets you 10% off at checkout and free shipping. So thanks to them for supporting the channel and enjoy the video.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your favorite secret Ducatista here, YAMMYNOOB. Topic of today's video is, should everyone ride a motorcycle? Or rather, is motorcycling for everybody? This is a topic I've been thinking about lately, and I just kind of wanted to, run through some thoughts, think about it a little bit, because I think obviously on this channel, a lot of folks are thinking about getting into riding, thinking about if it's for them. And we do a really good job, I think, of kind of presenting motorcycle culture and the lifestyle as something that anyone can be a part of and try to be as inclusive as possible. Dank Nooners, they know no racial, gender, or social constructs. Dank Nooners are for everyone. But are they really? Like, should anybody jump on one of these things and start ripping it up? I don't know. That's a question that I think you have to answer, but we're going to get into it today and talk about it. I'm sorry I don't have a double camera set up. I normally like running that for these vlogs because it kind of breaks up the visual monotony a little bit, but I forgot to charge my camera, my secondary one, like a dumb person. So we're going to stick with the old school single vlog here. There you go, little buddy. Turn on Ducati lifestyle. Let's start the video off with a little rolling burnout, shall we? Actually, let's put the visor down just so nothing happens here. Gotta protect your eyeballs, guys. God, this bike is fun. Right, so is that for everyone, Should everybody be ripping around on some gravel roads like this and bombing down some twisty roads? I think yes. I think everyone has the potential to be a motorcycle rider. Now, whether you should or shouldn't is something you need to answer, but let's think about it this way, right? Like, I see a lot of times people will, be really distracted while they're driving. They want to text while they drive. They want to do all kinds of stuff like that. And, I got to tell you, bikes, as fun as they are just super unforgiving to inattentiveness, stupidity, ignorance, lack of respect for the machine. A motorcycle is a very unforgiving thing. It's a very unforgiving activity. So if you were to bomb down these twisties going too fast or flicking it aggressively or not smoothly, the bike's not going to like you. And I'm not saying that to scare you guys off, but I do want to present the reality of the situation to you guys. It's a very serious activity. Ask me how I know. I've been involved in several motorcycle crashes, but to me that's part of the fun, and I don't mind it as much, especially this last year where I've been on track and off-road, and that's where all of my crashes occurred. I've thankfully not crashed on-road since the big one back in 2017, and I don't plan on doing it anymore because I tend to take it pretty easy on the public roads. I save the fun stuff for close conditions. But anyways, so motorcycles are just really unforgiving of inattentiveness, stupidity, if you're not paying attention. And so, to me, if you're the type of person who you're a little, ADD, maybe you have trouble focusing on one task at any given time, maybe it's not the best idea to jump on a bike. Or you can frame it this way. Maybe it is a good idea to jump on a bike because it's going to force you to pay attention. I think bikes are one of the last things in this world where I cannot be bothered by a screen right now. I get emails, text messages, phone calls while I'm riding, and I'm just like, you know what? They have to wait. Even though I have a cardo running right now, got music playing when I ride, I could theoretically take a call through my intercom system. I don't want to, because I'm here focusing 100% on the task at hand. And that's what makes it really fun and exciting, in my opinion, because it's one of the few things in the world today that you have to focus 100% on. You can't just, willy-nilly ride this thing around. I'm behind this truck and it smells like so much pot. someone has come to Bastrop to toke it up, I guess. That's hilarious. Yeah, so if you're watching this video in the future, we're right now in the midst of the coronavirus outbreak, so there's like nobody out anywhere, so I know that's probably why that dude's just like cruising around in his truck smoking weed. That's hilarious. So yeah, if you're the type of person who is a little ADD, maybe a bike's a great thing for you because you could actually pay attention and really focus, and I've heard it actually helps a lot of people with those conditions. Motorcycles are a great form of therapy too. They're actually done a couple studies on this where, you know, riding is really great for veterans with PTSD. It's really great for people who just need an outlet of some sort. And that's why I think motorcycling actually is for everybody, because it's a great outlet to, you know, just let all your frustrations at the door, just get on the bike. There's a reason we call it throttle therapy, right? Because it's just so nice to jump on your bike and cruise around your favorite streets. It's just a fantastic activity to relax with. Now, it's also a great activity under the right circumstances to just really get some aggression out, you know, really pin it balls to the wall, you know, bomb down your favorite trail, rip up your track, and have some fun. It's a great way to get that adrenaline junkie out of you, but at the same time, it's, you know, like I said, something you really have to take in consideration of how dangerous it is. And I think that's why I recommend everybody who is wanting to get started with bikes, just go take the MSF. It'll give you the opportunity to sit on an actual motorcycle, actually get it running in a low stakes environment. You can very quickly figure out if it is for you or not. And that's another point I want to make. Now, even though I'm saying that I think motorcycles are for everybody, I want to democratize them, I want everybody to at least try it once because it's just so fun. I have heard stories of people who get on bikes and then very quickly realize, you know what, this isn't for me. And that's okay too. I want you guys to know that there is no shame in trying out an activity and then being like, you know what, I don't think this is the right fit for me. I'll give you guys a great example. A couple months ago, I went mountain biking with a friend of mine because I was like, man, I think I'd really like mountain biking. It's like, you know, trail riding, it's super lightweight, it's going to be great exercise. I think I'm really going to enjoy it. So I went out with a buddy of mine. I rented a mountain bike from this shop, you know, spent, you know, maybe like $50 or whatever to get the bike, and went out to this free park and just started bombing the trails around for the day. I very quickly understood that mountain biking is not for me. And it's not because I'm like physically unfit. I was totally capable to do it, but between the risk of going down some of those really jagged, sharp inclines and, you know, some of the jumps and stuff, I was like, you know what, man, like even for someone who rides on track, I was like, this feels too extreme for me. And I got slammed like 3 times while I was riding the mountain bike, and I was like, dude, I don't think this is for me, man. Like, I don't think this is working out for me. So that goes to show you, you know, I think it's great to try something out and see if it's for you. And then if it doesn't work out, don't feel bad about it, you know? So if you're one of those guys or girls who, you know, maybe you saw my channel, saw some other channels on YouTube, and you're like, wow, motorcycling seems super cool, and it is. But then you tried it and you're like, I don't feel comfortable with the risk on the street. I don't feel comfortable with the cars coming by me. I don't like the way that the bike feels really scary, you know? That's okay, you know, it's all right to know your limitations, and I'd rather you be safe than to get out there and push yourself somewhere that you really don't want to go. You know, I don't think that's fun for anybody. But I will say this, if you've given street riding a try and you're like, wow, this is really scary, I don't like this, I would encourage you to try other disciplines of motorcycling, because there's lots of folks I know that are off-road only, for example. They only do trail riding, they only do like adventure riding, and not even like, you know, adventure touring. They take their bikes, like a dirt bike, to a like national park and just ride with their buddies the whole day, and that's it. I've got a buddy of mine called Brian who, that's what he does. He has his dirt bike. He's actually never ridden on road. He doesn't even, I think he has his M-Class license, but has never ridden on road. And so, you know, motorcycling has something for everybody. I think there's lots of flavors for you to try out. There's lots of different things you can experience. Now, trying out dirt bike riding might be a little bit harder than just taking an MSF course. You might have to know somebody who has a dirt bike that is willing to let you try it out and have fun with it. But, you know, a lot of guys that I know are just like, you know what, the risk on the street just isn't worth it for me. I prefer to keep it off-road. I prefer to keep it track only. Lots of different flavors of motorcycling for you to try out. Maybe, there's even like really niche kind of esoteric fields of motorcycling, like trials riding, where you're on this really lightweight little bike. You're doing like kind of stunt riding almost. You're jumping over logs and you're cresting over things, and it's super technical, super low speed. Maybe that's what you like, because maybe you come from like a bicycle background and you want something that's just like a little bit more bigger than a bicycle. Me personally, I like all kinds of motorcycling. I've found out in the last year and a half or so that I love street riding on something like the Desert Sled. I love doing like kind of more lightweight adventure riding, fire roads and two-way trails. I'm not super fond of single track just yet, because I feel like this bike is just too big to do that stuff and I'm not skilled enough. Absolutely love track day riding. That's probably my favorite thing to do with the motorcycle. And I do love just bombing down my favorite back road at a very sensible pace. I don't like pushing down the street anymore. But yeah, so I think everybody should give motorcycling a shot. It's worth it to just try out, go to an MSF, give it a shot. But if it doesn't work out for you, it doesn't work out for you. You could even get to the point, and I've seen this happen too, where you might get into a style of bike and then be like, oh, motorcycling sucks. But then all you have to do is change the type of bike you were riding, and it's more fun. I think a lot of guys, for example, they'll start on like 600s and they're just like, man, this thing is just scary. It's super cramped. It's like really awkward to ride. It's really fast. Like, I don't like it. And then, luckily they switched to something like an SV650 or an FZ07, and they're like, wow, this is really punchy and fun, and I can ride it, and this is just more fun. I actually got a DM the other day of a guy who was riding a CBR 1000 RR, leader bike, race bike, super bike type of stuff, and he messaged me being like, hey man, I just downsized to an SV650, and I'm having more fun motorcycling than I have ever had before. And that really goes to show you that, maybe you're starting off on the wrong bike and you gotta get yourself something that's more appropriate. Sort of what happened with me, honestly. Like, I used to ride my 675R on the street. I used to want, like a 210 or something like that. But then as I kind of matured and got older, and I realized that you can't do anything really with those bikes on the street, I started looking at bikes like the Scrambler, because I remember I rode one in 2016, and I was like, man, this little bike is such a blaster, just ride around. And then they came out with this version, the Desert Sled, and I was like, oh, that's so perfect. I rode it, I love it, it's so much fun to ride on the street, and it only has about 75 horsepower or so. It's an 803cc air-cooled V-twin, nothing crazy, but this is one of the most fun bikes that I've ever owned. I just love riding this thing. It's so fun to just cruise around your back streets like this. You get to stand up on it. You get to bomb down some gravel roads with it, no problem. You can handle anything. It's a super fun bike. Super fun motorcycle. So yeah, I think motorcycling is for everyone, but you shouldn't be ashamed if you try it and you didn't like it or it wasn't for you, but you're still interested in the sport. I think that's totally cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a perfectly valid thing to do with motorcycles. So with that, guys, I think we're going to wrap up this vlog. I'm going to make it a quick one here. Let's pull off here to this nice little overlook and wrap this up for you guys. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up today's vlog. Thanks so much for checking it out and watching it. Stay safe out there with all the coronavirus stuff, guys. It is pretty scary. Definitely do some research and see that the mortality rates are pretty serious. It is definitely a pretty serious thing that's going on right now. So make sure you check that out and do all your research, and make sure to keep your distance from people. Stay in as much as you can, and be safe. Not only for yourself, but all the other people in your life. You might transmit the disease to someone else who might not make it, so definitely be sure to be safe out there. But yeah, motorcycling is a good activity to do right now while everything's shut down, because you get to socially isolate yourself. So with that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.